Hello, welcome to the Echo Tips podcast. In this week's episode, we're going to be talking about a brand new service that is available on the Amazon Echo line of devices. And I probably shouldn't try and say its name because I might trigger your Echo at home, but it's the Alexa Together feature. And this is closely connected and an innovation, an advancement of the old Care Hub feature, which we talked about in episode 129. So this will be very useful for those that are seniors, those that are caregivers, and similar situations such as this. And so we're going to talk about this new feature set that just became available here in December. All right, but before we do that, we're going to go to a brief message about our podcast, and then we'll be right back. This episode is brought to you by the New Vision program at Goodwill. We're also grateful for the kind use of WVTF Studios. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments living in Southwest Virginia. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving the New River, Roanoke, and Shenandoah Valleys of Virginia. Goodwill's mission services help individuals with disabilities and disadvantages to get back to work and gain greater independence. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Well, hello. Welcome again back to our Echo Tips podcast. For our new listeners, you might be wondering, what did I get myself into? What am I listening to? Well, you'll find out our podcast, our little nuggetized episodes, all about your Amazon Echo. We try to feature new things, but sometimes we revisit some oldies but goodies, especially if there's maybe some new features available and skills or things like that. And my name is David Ward. I'm an assistive technology instructor with the New Vision program at Goodwill. And at the end of the episode, I'll mention some ways you can reach out to me with thoughts or comments. For our returning listeners, we'd like to welcome you back as well. And because of both of you, we're somewhere approaching 80,000 listens to our we're coming up on 200 episodes. We're here in the 170s right now. Anywho, so what are we going to be talking about today? Well, we're going to be talking about a new service that was announced by Amazon back in the fall of 2021 here. A number of different products and services are often released at the same time. It's just a plethora of stuff. We've talked about drones and robots, but this is a service specifically geared towards seniors and caregivers. Now, if you want to, you can delve back into the past episodes where we talked about the Care Hub in episode 129. The Care Hub was kind of their first innovation in this arena, geared towards caregivers and seniors needing assistance or desiring that assistance. And this was a totally free, and I've been told is still available, free service that is available with limited functionality. This new feature, and by the way, I probably should say this before I start saying the A-lady name. If you do have an Echo in hearing distance of me and its ears are still turned on and it responds to the A-lady name, you may want to shut its ears off so I don't trigger your Echo at home, okay? Just give you a second to do that if that's the case. Because the naming convention here has the A-lady name in it. So the new service, hopefully you've had a chance to do that, is called Alexa Together. And this is, for the lack of better words, Care Hub Plus, Care Hub Pro Plus, whatever. It's taking Care Hub to the next level. And it is a paid-for subscription service. Now, a lot of the information I'm sharing today was based on a TechCrunch article. And so you feel free to consult some news media and the like. And you can easily Google Alexa Together in Google, and probably one of your top results is going to take you directly to Amazon's website where they talk about this service. Now, the service, as I mentioned, is a paid-for service. So if you pay for it monthly, it's $19.99 a month. And if you pay for it at a year at a time, you save a little bit. It's $199.99. a year. So I think by my math, that's somewhere in the neighborhood of $40 savings if you buy it by the year. Typical kind of modern cloud service kind of thing. Now, if you want to get kind of the rudimentary of the features that carried over from CareHub, by all means, go back and consult episode 129. All those kind of features are still baked into this new service, and then it adds in some additional features. Now, in either regards, you have the senior who has the Echo in their home, and they're trying to still continue to live independently. And you may have a family member or caregiver who may be distant or across the other side of town or whatever, who's trying to provide additional assistance. So in both cases, they would have two different accounts, and both the senior needs to opt into the service and authorize what features they want allowed, and the other party who's providing the caregiving, they also would do the same. So really, there's no way to get snookered here. You seniors who may be concerned about what is and not on and off, you have complete control of that basically on both ends. Now, once this service is set up, one of the core benefits is that you get 24/7 monitoring assistance. So in other words, a senior is in a situation where they need immediate help or they need some sort of assistance. They can easily say, "Hey, lady, call for help," and get, no matter what time of day it is, get connected to a trained operator that can direct the call or direct emergency services, an ambulance, a fire truck, whatever, police response immediately. Now, I haven't dug into that entirely, but there's also a similar feature where they can maybe call their caregiver for assistance as well. Obviously, you could play that either way, but obviously the big thing is have a 24/7 assistance that they immediately are connected to a professional that can say, okay, they need a fire truck or they need an ambulance. So obviously that 24/7 assistance is a huge deal, and it can bring a lot of peace of mind to caregivers, and just know that service is available. And I would imagine if you delve into the nitty-gritty of this, they also, if they were to utilize that, the caregiver would get some sort of notice as well. Okay, so like I said, I'm trying to get a 10,000-foot view, a high view of these new features. One of the other features you have is remote management. So if you're a caregiver, you did get certain access in the Care Hub, but now you even get more. So, for example, you're trying to help your elderly, let's say mother or father, set up reminders for medications throughout the day. You have access to setting up reminders. You can also maybe add in contacts so that they can easily call or send messages, maybe to the grandchildren. So you could add in contacts into their Echo. That once again, all this is assuming they've authorized that, but that's part of the remote management feature. Also adding things to a checklist, shopping list, grocery list, checking them off. Maybe you want to set up a free music service for your elderly parent. So that's something you can do as well. Now here's another part of this feature, which is really where I think the rubber meets the road. Also, there's connections to third-party services, namely services that maybe have features such as fall detection and things like that. So, for example, one of the third-party services is Assistive Technology Services, or also known as ATS, and VIAR service are other third. And there's probably been several added since this article was written. So, for example, the VIAR Care Service makes a wall-mounted sensor that can help detect when somebody's fallen in the room. So that might be something you want to look into. Now, I didn't look into that. I imagine you had to purchase the hardware, but it could be connected to this service. Also, in the case of ATS, they make a service called Sky Angel Care, which is a pendant they can wear around their neck that also does fall detection and also has a button on there that your family member could press. They wear that around their neck at all times, and they could get assistance as well. Now, carrying forward from the Care Hub feature, you also get this activity feed as a caregiver. You can see mom or dad ask for the the weather at 7 o'clock this morning. You know that they're up and moving. Now, that obviously isn't a foolproof, perfect service, because if they don't use the Echo, you might not know. I wonder if there's a way you could tether this to some of the Echoes have a limited motion detection. So maybe like if they're moving in the room, of course, if they had a pet or something, that might not work. But if they didn't have any pets, that might be a way to, see that, they're up and about and moving. Okay, so let me keep moving along here, try to keep this in motion. Now, some of the cool things so far is that if you wanted to try this out, there is a 6-month free service. So, $20 roughly times 6 months, you get to try this out for free for 6 months. That's pretty cool. Now, here's the other cool thing, and I just delved into my app to do this. The Care Hub, people that had already enrolled in Care Hub prior to this announcement, are already being rolled in to the Alexa Together service for free for 1 year. And so that would expire, I think, December 7th, 2022, according to this TechCrunch article. So you would have automatically been rolled into this. And I went into the A-Lady app and checked myself. I went under More button in the bottom right corner. Then I went to Settings in the A-Lady app. And then I went to Alexa Together. It used to be Care Hub there, but now it says Alexa Together. I tap on that, and I see that my mother is already set up. We're already connected, because I tried to do that former podcast. I set it up, the Care Hub, and it looks like I'm already rolled into this thing. I didn't have to do any kind of agreement or anything. Maybe if I went in to activate some of these new features, maybe it would ask me to, do some extra checking, and I'm sure on my mother's end, it would probably ask, for permission. But kind of interesting that it's kind of already rolled me forward to that. And that's basically $200 you're getting for free for a year's service if you wanted to use this. Okay, so it mentions here in the TechCrunch article too, future innovations, multiple caregivers. I think that feature has already been kind of added in a limited way, so that, let's say, me and my sister, we live in 2 different locations. We want to try to provide assistance to mom or dad. If that was needed, we could do so. So I think that is already updated in the new current set, because I went to the Amazon website and it already kind of mentioned that as a feature set. But there may be additional features coming later. Let's say a neighbor across the street wants to provide assistance or something like that. They live next to this person for 30, 40 years. And they might be able to, message them or something like that. So that may not have rolled out yet. Some sort of granular level of access, All right, so I think that is a rough breakdown of all the new features in the Alexa Together feature set. So I'm David Ward for the New Vision program. We appreciate you listening today. If you have any questions or other things you'd like to see us visit in the future, by the way, and since I am apparently opted in with this with my mother, since I was enrolled in the Care Hub, I might delve into that app and bring some of these features out in a future episode again as well. But if you have any other future ideas for episodes, skills, topics you'd like to see us revisit, or new features, feel free to reach out to us on social media, either on Facebook or Twitter at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys. And you can also, of course, go to our website, goodwillvalleys.com/newvision, all lowercase, no spaces, and find out more about what the New Vision program is doing in our community here in southwestern Virginia. Well, until next time, it's time to turn the ears back on your Echo, start practicing some of the many things that you've learned. I'm David Ward for the New Vision program, and we thank you for listening.
Thanks, Dave. In conclusion, let me tell you a thing or two. This episode is brought to you by New Vision at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys, and it is also made possible in part by a grant from Community Foundation serving Western Virginia. And there's more. We're also grateful for the kind use of WVTF Studios. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments living in Southwest Virginia. For more information, check out our website at goodwillvalleys.com/newvision, with no spaces. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving the New River, Roanoke, and Shenandoah Valleys of Virginia. Goodwill's mission programs help individuals with disabilities and disadvantages to get back to work and gain greater independence. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Thanks for listening.